Hello everyone, myself Gaurang, and I welcome all of you for the webinar session from the Hoodsoft. This is the second webinar we are organizing after the first webinar, of which is related to the call and contact center domain, where we try to emphasize on how the customer experience can be improved using the omni-channel product. This time we have brought another topic which is related to the hosted PBX service providers, and mainly we try to emphasize on how the customer management can be enhanced using a multi-tenancy billing. So this is the webinar objective for today. And before I go and proceed with the webinar, I would like to give an introduction to myself and the today's presenter. Myself, Gaurang Upadhyay, I'm taking care of the sales and the business development effort for the Hoodsoft. I have today's presenter, Ruchika. She is taking care of the pre-sales part of the efforts for the Hoodsoft, and she is holding a very good experience and expertise around all the Hoodsoft products as on date, which is available with us. Uh, Before we start the webinar, so we are mainly having unified communication software as a product, and we have majorly four products with us. One of the product is Odoo CC, which is omni-channel contact center software. Another product which we have is Odoo PBX, which is multi-tenant IP PBX software. The third product, which is Odoo Blast, that is SMS and voice broadcasting software. And fourth one is Odoo Conf, which is audio and web conferencing software, which we have as on date. We had a very good successful journey till now. It's been 5 years with all the passionate work which we have done. We have been able to make a presence in 31 countries with our product. More than 200 plus installations are done for the products which we have, and successfully 51 partners we have created globally who are promoting our products in the global market. So I'll come down to the webinar agenda for today's session, and the agenda will definitely start with the introduction related to the topic which we have placed today. We will touch upon the analysis of IPPBX market as well, so that we will try to give a bigger picture as how the market look like today and for another 5 years, right? We'll talk about the industry problems. We'll talk about the solution itself for those problems, which is addressing to the core issues prevailing within the industry as on date. And we'll also go with some of the statistics, which is very important to highlight. Then we'll try to conclude the sessions, and after the conclusion, we will have a following session with the question and answer, where I would definitely invite all of you to put your questions in the chat, or maybe you can have a conversation with our team for the same. And yeah, I would like to hand over a session right now to Ruchika so that she can start the session, and she can take you to the entire webinar journey. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gaurang. Thank you, everyone, for making the time to attend this webinar. So I would like to first ask a question to, I would first like you to ask ourselves the question about whether it is the right time to get into the hosted PBX business, starting with that. So we'll first take a look at the VoIP market, how it has been doing. So if we see that the initial use of the technology started back in 95, and since then, VoIP wasn't used much until 2015, where we saw an exponential growth in the use of VoIP technology with the advent of smartphones, and the cost effectiveness that was realized by people, that how cost effective VoIP technology is. Along with that, with the advent of smartphones, people started expecting easy executions of things. So moving ahead, what happened with the internet? So even internet got a boom with the advent of smartphones. So everything has been needed, like it has to be accessible through internet. So we need more devices on internet, meaning more devices on IP. Along with that, if we see the cost saving has been important factor, that is sought by the companies, by the corporations. So everyone started looking forward to VoIP technology, and the if we see that the sleek design has slightly sneaked into our lives, and people started looking for sleek designs rather than bulky things. So quickly, analog PBXs were replaced by the IP PBXs that are really sleek and easy to use. So if we look further, like how it has been doing, so If we see that along with the journey so far, we are expecting a huge increase in the CAGR, that is compounded annual growth rate, that is like 18% of hike in the coming years. Apart from that, we are expecting an incremental growth of $23.89 billion. So we can see that it is a huge amount to have access to. Apart from that, the year-over-year growth rate for 2020 is estimated at 16.52 percentage. So the huge market is concentrated in Northern America. This is where the growth has originated. But if we look further into how the growth has been distributed, so we see that the growth rate has been more in it is expected to be more in the APEC region and Australia, followed by Europe, Canada, and Northern America, and they are again followed by Africa and Southern America. So this we see that we are expecting really huge use and increase of hosted PBX market, especially in this time of COVID-19, because people are working remotely and everything has to be managed over internet, because we are expecting this to have a lasting effect, and people are expected to work from home even after this COVID-19 recedes. So moving ahead, we would like to have a look at the PBX market share vertical wise. So we see that the huge share is still held and expected to be held by the information technology, followed by healthcare, manufacturing, and the other industries. So this we see that this has been still the largest of the markets, but they are even expected to see a huge increase in use of the wipe technology and the PBX technology. So moving ahead with our analysis, so we see that there are some restraints and challenges that are seen as are seen in every technology that comes up. So the first is the security and privacy concerns that are increasing. So that's why hosted PBX is expected to see a huge increase. Secondly, talking about the drivers that are leading the PBX market are growing need for the enterprise mobility and increasing implementation of cloud technology. And also, if we see the opportunities, then increase in adoption of cloud has increased in telecom, and there is a rising trend for network convergence and UC applications with the advent of WebRTC technology. So that we see are the leading factors that has led to an increase and is still expected to increase the need of this kind of market. Moving ahead with the market analysis, so first of all, the issues that are being faced is with the management of customers. So currently, if we see providers, they find it very hard to manage their customers, especially when there is no or less multi-tenancy. Secondly, if we see that we can save time and efforts if we see and focus on the problems that are being faced by the customers and the providers ultimately. So they are stability, because the applications and the systems are not so stable most of the times. Along with that, scalability is a huge problem, where if the customers want to have an increase in, say, for example, extensions or anything they use, so if they want to use and increase their use for certain services, they find it very hard for the providers to get them those services. Ultimately, the providers are also not at fault, because they again are dependent on softwares, and most of the softwares are not so flexible. So that leads to this kind of issue. Along with that, providers face a huge problem because of cost management. So firstly, if we see that huge cost is being spent on infrastructure, on management of customers, especially because the systems are not so inclusive. Providers need separate engines, separate things for separate infrastructure for billing, for invoicing, etc. So ultimately, it not just increases the cost, but also the efforts and the attention it takes. So ultimately, we see that if we focus more on industries looking deeper, we'll see that the end customer issues are unstable applications, because it obviously leads to a lot of frustrations. And even looking at the support side, they do not get support so easily and quickly as they expect. Apart from that, they face issues with scaling up services. So that is again a problem for not just customers but also for providers. Now, as we are talking of providers, then for providers, compatibility issue is there because some of the customers provide limited to no compatibility with most of the hardwares that are currently installed. Secondly, if we see, as I talked about the separate billing engine thing, so this again adds to the cost and management thing. Secondly, as the engines are different, the PBX is running on a separate thing, then we have a software that manages billing. So this leads to billing disparity, and there is a problem with reconciliation and regeneration of invoices. So those kind of mismatches also create a lot of frustration. And if we talk of multi-tenancy and billing, then it leads to a lot of problem, especially when billing and this multi-tenancy is more on hardware side and not on software side. So this not just increase the infrastructure cost, but it takes a lot of management as well. So looking further at the ratios of problems, so if we see that 8 in 10 PBXs do not have multi-tenancy currently if we look at the market, then also we see that 6 in 10 PBXs do not have billing. So we see that what a huge problem we are dealing with at the moment as providers. So I would like you to know about a software that provides it all in under one umbrella. So this is Hodoo PBX, IP PBX software. It supports multi-tenancy and carries billing inclusive in the system itself. So the PBX, Hodoo PBX supports 1000 plus concurrent calls on a single server, and it supports unlimited tenants. Also, the tenancy is software based and not hardware based, so it saves infrastructure costs and management as well. Apart from that, it is secured because it is installed in your server itself. Apart from that, we have security measures that we'll discuss shortly. So we see that we also support 10,000 plus extensions on a single server. So looking further into it, we see that the latest technology, that is the WebRTC. So Hodoo PBX supports WebRTC. Chrome extension can be used to manage audio, chat, video, and extension settings as well. Also, the phone book, do not disturb, conference, forwarding, all these things can be managed through the Chrome extension and the Hodoo phone application. So if we look further into multi-tenancy, so we see that there are two major factors that are affected by multi-tenancy if it is available. So first of all, we can easily manage our customers as providers, and we can also save on the infrastructure cost. So like that, if we see that a single admin can manage their resellers, and the resellers can be given rights to manage their own tenants, and the tenants can ultimately manage their extensions. So as an admin, the person can sell as a reseller to a reseller or to tenants directly to companies, which they can again manage on their own. Secondly, if we talk of the bill plans, what is available on the billing side, then for billing, Hodoo PBX has prepaid and postpaid billing. Along with that, postpaid billing can be done as per the cycle that is needed or as per the contract. So the cycle can be monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, anyway as it is needed. Apart from that, alerts can be set up and the invoicing can be in the currency that is needed. So there is no limitation for the software, so you can sell the product geographically anywhere, practically anywhere in the world across geographies. Apart from that, if we talk about the management part, then advance payments, extra charges, refunds, discounts, everything can be managed with the PBX itself. So the software is inclusive of this part, along with any offers that are needed to be provided. And if you want to manage your taxes, so like this, everything can be managed with the platform, including the billing and the payment gateways, because the PBX has integrations with PayPal, Stripe, and CC Avenue. So the tenants can directly make payments to their admin or reseller by using any of these payment gateways. Talking about the multi-tenancy billing, so we would want to bill as per the service, as per what is subscribed by the tenant. So for that reason, Odoo PBX supports service level billing. So here you can charge for each of your services based on the count that you have given. So the services include the services like extensions, if they want to set up and manage their own extensions, IVRs, faxes, voicemails, SMS, paging, conferencing, etc. Along with that, the rate cards and rate plans can be managed by the PBX itself. So it is all included. Apart from that, if there is any other service that is to be provided as an add-on or something, so you can add your own service in the platform and you can charge your tenants for the same as well. Now, if we talk about the current software, so if there is a separate software for billing, then there are several steps that are currently followed by the providers to bill and to have the invoices generated for their tenants. So for that, they go through steps like service provisioning. So first of all, they have to add those services in that billing platform as well. Then there is marginal analysis, there is customer reporting, there is service reporting, and the management of all these as well. So if we see that if we can have it all under one platform itself, so the providers basically can save their attention, time, and cost, and save them for a better thing. That is, they can develop their business, or use these efforts and things for something better than just billing. Now, if we take a look at the Odoo PBX, this is a sample of admin panel, or you can say the reseller panel. So with this, the admin can basically take a look at all the services that they provide. Like here, first of all, they can see the tenants that are created, the DIDs, and everything they provide, along with the ASR and ACD, and the calls per hour stats. Secondly, if we talk about the tenant, then even at the tenant level, a very good dashboard is provided. So we see there are several dashboards that are provided, not just to the admin, but to the tenant for their own accounts view. So they can manage and view their own subscriptions and what they want to use and what they have used. So here they can take a quick look at what all services they are currently using, in what counts, in what amounts. So if they want to ask for their provider, so they can just post a request through this portal itself for a change or increase in the service count. So the tenant can also very easily request for services, and they can also take a view at what is used. So it is a very transparent system that can be used. Secondly, there is an extension panel. So even the employees that are going to use this system, they can just scan this QR code and log into their Vodafone application. They can also use Chrome extensions or the hard disk phones to manage the calls and everything. Apart from this, the settings can be managed from Chrome extension and the Vodafone application. And if the tenant wants to limit some rights for the employees for their extensions, they can do the same as well. So if we take a look at the bill plan, this is a view of the admins panel where they manage the bill plans. So here we can see that as an admin, they can just give it a name. They can choose the type of bill plan it is. That is, it can be a postpaid or a prepaid bill plan. Secondly, the period can be monthly, weekly, or yearly as they like. And they can choose the currency in which the invoice is to be generated. They can also charge some late payment fees and cancellation charges. They can set up the alerts for due period, for service suspension, for service inactivation period. So all these alerts can be set. Also, we can see that the additional charges, if they are having some kind of charges like installation charges or any other kind of one-time or recurring charges, they can be added with the fee detail here. And they can also attach the bundle plans, that are the offer plans. So if they want to provide any offers to their customers, it is also very easy to apply. Moving ahead with the call threshold plan, like how do you ensure that your customer pays you invoices, pays you the amount in time and as per the contract. So for that, we have additional security for billing. So here we have the call threshold plan, wherein the admin can set up the warning value as per various parameters. So they can set up the warnings based on the billing amount, the call count, call duration, or based on some prefixes or unique numbers as well. So when customer, for example, they hit a billing amount of say $55, so you can set it up here that the system can fire an email to the admin or to the tenant or both, and they can set it up like, okay, they can disable the service, they can disable outgoing. Like this, they can manage multiple things through this security that we provide. Secondly, if we take a look at what we offer to the tenants as the service providers. So here at the at this level in this page, we'll see that as the admin, you get the full control of what all rights you want to provide to your tenants. So it can be based on the languages. So if your tenant is in a geography where they do not understand English, for example, so you can set up the first language as anything other than English. So the portal supports multiple languages and you can enable them from here. So the portal can be customized as per the language that your tenant, your customer uses. Secondly, the currency can be set. You can set up what all rights you want to give. Also, it includes things like services. So here you get to choose like which services in what count you want to provide to your tenants, that is your customers. So here you can choose, you can see that it can be extensions, you can set up the count, and the rate can be unit wise or a fixed rate for each of the service that you provide. Apart from that, you can also set up a start date for your plan. Moving ahead with the invoice. So the system fires the invoice email independently and automatically by itself. Also, it depends on the settings though. So the system can basically fire the email automatically. As the admin, you can take a quick look at the invoice with this page, and also you can fire an email from here in case you have not set up automatic things. So it's just a matter of click and it is done. Secondly, this is a sample invoice that I would like to show you here. So you can see that here in place of Odoo PBX, you can edit it through the email template of the portal itself. So you can have your own logo, and the invoice includes everything, include the call summary details along with the services that your tenant has used and their charges. Moving ahead with the tenants, so at the tenant level also, if they want to sell the service to based on the extension level, so they can set up the plans for selling the extensions as well. Now talking about some additional features, that is the reseller module, for example. If you want your product to be resold, then you can set up a reseller page. Then your reseller can use their own domain or they can be a subdomain of yours to sell your PBX under your brand. And then we have APIs. So if you still want to use, if you still need to use any third-party application for anything like billing, invoicing, or tenant creation or anything simply, so you can integrate very easily through the APIs that are given in the portal itself. Now let's take a look at the deployment architecture. So the PBX is basically installed in your server and it uses fail to ban and IP tables as a part of security. So the PBX can be installed on your server or on cloud as well. And it's just that you can manage your this calls this everything through extensions, like you can use Chrome extension or you can use the Odoo Phone application or you can use your desk phone to manage these calls as well. Taking a look at the ITSP deployment, so like this, the installment will be in your server or on your cloud server, and then you can have multiple tenants under you, and ultimately they can manage their things with the web portal or desk phones or mobile application. And you can, as an admin, you can manage everything, you can manage their rights, and you can see how your services are doing. So we have very extensive reporting system as well, so you get to know like how your services are doing at the tenant level as well. Then we have this enterprise level deployment, for example. So here also the enterprise at the enterprise level, you can use it for working from home, for managing your system remotely. So you can see that you can manage the PBX pretty much very easily with the Chrome extension, with the mobile application, and like this you can manage your multiple tenants as well. Now taking a look at the generic use case. So basically you being a provider, your customers, they can manage everything like audio call, video call, chat, paging, fax, IVR, etc. right through their right through their mobile applications or Chrome extensions, and also they can set up keys for their IP phones. Let's take a look at the use case. So as we have gone through a quick video of the use case, let's take a look at some user statistics. So if we see that what happens to a typical call inside businesses, so we see that almost 90 seconds are spent on an average, callers being on hold before hanging up the phones, and 36 seconds are the average time on which the callers are being on hold until they connect to the person they want to talk to. And secondly, almost 15 seconds are spent on an average, while being on the menu settings. Secondly, if we see the top VoIP features and benefits which are needed as per small businesses, so 77% need find me and follow me, and 67% need the the phone calls that are to be managed through IVRs. Secondly, 65% needs conference callings, followed by the rest of the features. So now let's take a look at how much money we can save specifically by using VoIP technology. So here we can see that 90% of our cost can be saved on international calls and 75% on operational costs, followed by the other costs like 40% on local calls and 30% on the phone bills. Secondly, let's take a look at what customers expect from VoIP providers. So here we see that most of the customers, that is 86% of customers, expect security and 85% expect reliability. And then followed by the other factors like price, that is 81%. So the people expect that the product should be as economical as possible, along with it being secure and reliable, followed by the other stats like other needs like about the vendor and the technology's maturity, etc. Now, if we take a look of the perception of VoIP and cloud technology businesses, so here we see that 63% find it highly effective technology for companies, and 62% find it has improved their productivity, followed by the other stats like how it helps stay ahead of the business curve and improved collaboration, along with how it reduces the costs of overall infrastructure and business. So that basically certainly increases the efficiency, the revenue assurance, and other things. Now, moving ahead with how the cost reduction is seen is divided as per the VoIP systems. So most of the cost reduction is seen on the initial installation costs, and then followed by the costs on other things like international calls and local calls. Then we have gathered some top 10 resources of phone calls for businesses. So we see that 48% comes from mobile research. So we see that basically when we are on the top of the curve, when we are offering the latest technologies and things, when our customers are satisfied, so they can easily look for us, they can search for us on the internet and reach us out. Followed by, if we talk about the other benefits of VoIP according to employees, then we see that 67% of employees currently believe that the VoIP has improved call handling, and 75% believe that they have that they have helped like manage the messages through the VoIP technology, along with the main thing that is currently going on, that is the work from home thing. So remote work has been easier with the VoIP technology for about 40%. So 40% believe that VoIP has helped them work from home. So now let's take a quick look at the conclusion about what we just now discussed. So we talked about the main problems that are being faced because of the unstable systems and the crashes that comes because of the applications of the softwares that are not so stable and trustworthy. So the customers basically expect staunch systems that lead to better market value, and they can help draw more clientele. So this kind of things can help, especially if we talk about multi-tenancy, then it has helped optimize revenue generation and saved infrastructure cost. And then even the billing things has helped save on cost, effort, and time, because inclusive systems saves not just attention cost but also time. And then finally, being able to bill our customers per service is especially useful because we can manage our services, we can charge them according to our customers need, and they can eventually ask for better things, for more things, once they are satisfied with the current things. So thank you so much for your time, and we are now open for the Q&A session.
Yeah, thank you, Ruchika. I request all the participants to, whomsoever has the question, they can put their question into the chat box, and we'll read the question, and we'll also answer to the same. Yeah, hello. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, we can hear you. You can just ask your question.
Yeah, with this hot software, these Q features, how advanced are they?
Patrick, I suggest you to type your question because your voice is breaking in between. So maybe you can write the question in the chat box. We can read that and we can reply back. Meantime, Ruchika, if you can answer to the question which is from Sundaram and
The content,
Miller.
the features, and
Sure,
approach.
Gaurang, please give me a moment.
Yes.
So, Mr. Sundaram, basically for the contact center, we can have another session maybe, or we can reach you out after this session. So we can discuss about the contact center solution that we have to offer.
Yeah, Christopher, about the Hodoo switch, I would say that it's more in the production right now. So as soon as the Hodoo switch, we'll probably come up with the beta part of it, or we'll be ready with that. We'll definitely let you know on that those updates as well. So you'll definitely find those updates on our website or through our social media channels on LinkedIn, Facebook, and all other channels. You'll definitely keep yourself updated through that. There is one question from Milan: is that what type of alert, voice call, SMS, email, any other? So maybe Ruchika, you can answer to that.
I'm sorry for missing that question. So basically, email alerts are there for the missed calls, for the voicemails, and everything. So the system fires emails, and those templates can be managed as well by the admin.
Yeah, Patrick, you were asking some question. We were not able to hear you properly, but you can type in the chat box and we can answer that. Thanks a lot, Virenjaya, for your question. Why Hodoo CC doesn't have billing feature if we use Hodoo CC and we want to charge our customer how to do it? Yeah. So, Ruchika or Nirav, maybe you can answer to that particular question as well.
Yes, actually for Hodoo CC, it is more, focused on the contact center product. So where the product is more focused on the enterprises, they themselves use it for management of their customers. Hence, we currently do not have billing for that. But thank you for the suggestion. We'll certainly look into it if we can arrange such a thing into Hodoo CC. Thank you very much.
Yeah. There is a question from Jubilani. Can the billing platform work with other BPX solutions like 3CX and YesStart? So, uh, I mean, like, Ruchika, if you can answer this question, I mean, like, I'm not able to understand even. The point is that billing platform work with other PBX. I think not the BPX. It's a PBX like 3CX or ESTAR.
As of now, we have the APIs to manage such a thing. So if you want to use Hodoo PBX with another billing platform, then it is possible. But we do not have a separate billing platform. Hence, we need to check if we can provide such a solution that is just billing thing and it can whether or not integrate with other platforms like 3CX or Yestar.
Yeah,
Thank you
but
for that.
to add to that, Jubilani, I think we have already a billing inside available within the product as well. So maybe you can probably later on plan to have a separate demo session and try to explore that billing part of it. How the Hoodoo PBX takes care of postpaid and prepaid billing. So maybe that will probably answer your question, or maybe take us also together with you in the direction where we can help you on that. Is this solution has been approved by TEC? So no, I'm not sure about TEC. So maybe you can write down the full form of it or what exactly it is. I can say one thing that as a Hodoo PBX product, we have been certified for a very specific, very recently in the Malaysia by Telecom Malaysia. So in Malaysia, there is a kind of an approval process which is required by the Telecom Malaysia, and that we have certainly gone through that through one of the prominent partner we have out there. Through them, we have got the certification with the Telecom Malaysia. Can we have integration to custom payment gateways so customers can pay? Certainly, we can integrate more payment gateways as well. Ruchika, maybe you can add some more
Yes.
lights on that.
Yes. So, Christopher, thank you for your question. So, basically, you can have another payment gateway integrated, but for that, we always seek for the APIs for that platform gateway so that our development team can check for the feasibility of such an integration. Hello, Patrick. To answer your question, which advanced features of queues does Soft have? So, for queues, basically, it is to have a small call center like setup within the PBX. So it has functionalities like how you want to route the calls based on skills, like you want to set up the routing based on the agent's availability, like the agent with the fewest call, or you want to set up a round robin fashion of distribution. Such things can be managed with queues. Secondly, with the queue monitor, the tenant can monitor how many calls are there in waiting, and how many of them failed or something. Apart from that, they can keep a check on their employees, like how much time they were on break or something. Secondly, for queues, they can also manage things like follow me, like they can set up the failback activities. So in case of the agents of the queues are busy, then the call can route to some other queue or IVR or another extension or ring group, or even just playback extension. So such things can be managed. Also, we have the sticky agent functionality, so that if your customer has answered you, I mean your employees has answered a certain customer at a particular time, then you can set it up in a way that the same employee answers calls from that specific person, so that the customer does not have to explain themselves over and over again. So these are some of the basic functionalities we provide for the queues.
Yeah, and to answer the one more question from Patrick is that whether we have the soft phones. So yes, we do have iOS, Android, and iPhone app. We also have a Google Chrome extension. And Patrick, I would, since because your questions are very valid, I would also request you to plan a kind of a demo session going forward after this webinar gets over, maybe in this week or the next week. Jubilani, thank you. Our team will definitely get in touch with you to schedule a demo, and we will definitely highlight you the billing part of it. Apart from the billing, what all different features we'll definitely uh, explore those things with you during the demo part of it. We have some more questions from
Yes.
yeah. I saw
Got
you. Yeah.
Gaurang, sorry to interrupt. We have one more question from Patrick for soft phones.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, we do, support soft phones. So, we have a SIP password specially set up for the soft phones and the hard disk phones. So, you can use Hodoo PBX extensions credentials to log in to any of the soft phones. So, the people who want to use the end users, they can use Hodoo phone application. They can use Chrome extension. They can use hard disk phones from standard providers like Cisco, Polycom, Yealink, okay, and Grandstream. For soft phones also, they can use Zoiper, they can use Grandstream, and any other standard soft phone with Odoo PBX. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, we have some question from, I saw you can link FXO gateway to the Odoo. So what kind of security protocols are using? Ruchika, maybe you can throw some more lights on that. Security protocols related to the FXO gateways for the Odoo PBX product.
For security, we have fail to ban and IP tables. So based on that, basically the system blacklists the IPs as per what the system finds is suspicious. Secondly, even the admin can add the blacklist IPs on their own. So it will be always seen in the reports whether the IP is added by the system or through the portal. Secondly, at the tenant level, the tenants can set up access restriction. So if they want only the traffic, the logins to be carried out only from a certain IP, so that they can set up. So only that specific IP can be used to log into any extension or even their portals. So that kind of security things we provide, and you can also use firewalls for additional security if you need to.
Sundaram, just to explore more things with you, I would say that as you are looking for something in terms of very specific certifications around TRI or the other ISO body or something like that, I would say that the product does not have any kind of certifications like that. But yes, in the Indian market context, I would say that we have some non-telco ISPs, right, and a couple of other organizations who are also using the Odoo PBX as a platform as on date for providing the services. We can definitely share you those references. We can share you some more details on that so that you can get to know that how the compliances or how the regulations part are being taken care on the product itself and how they are also getting benefited of it. So we'll definitely share more of those details to you. Post this webinar session, we'll definitely get in touch with you for that. There is a question from Mark that does Odoo provide click to dial and predictive dialing? I think this question is more specific to the call and contact center product which we have. That's a separate product, not the PBX one. Ruchika, maybe you can give some glance to that, though it is part of the another product, but you can give some more highlights on it.
Yes, the dialer and the other products that Mr. Mark has asked for is not a part of PBX at the moment. But as we have a very scalable and flexible system, if they need it, we can try to arrange it through customization. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, then we have complication by deploying this kind of solutions called Fuzi in India. Okay. What about connectivity to even so that terrestrial phone lines can connect easily?
So for that, you can use the gateways, or we are soon going to have one more functionality that is going to be added in the portal. So we are going to have SIP to SIP calls as well. And for events, you can use gateways so that the phones can be integrated with the PBX.
Yeah. There is one question from Kabana, and that's like, is your billing demo going to be online or it's free for all to attend? Yes, Kabana, we can certainly schedule one-to-one demo sessions, which is an online session. Unlike Google or Skype meeting, we generally do that. And that demo takes around 90 minutes usually to cover up the entire product. So we can definitely also schedule a live demo for you, which is a very much personalized kind of a demo session, which we generally do one-on-one. Can we have on-premise installation, Patrick? Yes, this can be installed on-premise or it can be on cloud. So both the options or both the installation is very much feasible and possible for the Odoo PBX. How is Odoo CC is different from Odoo PBX? In terms of the solution, both are very different product addressing to a different market. Call and contact center product which we have designed is basically to meet the expectation of a service provider, those who wanted to give hosted or cloud-based call center or contact center services, or it can be directly deployed for a call or contact center who actually render or offer a call center or into the call center business, right? So that basically is the Odoo CC, whereas Odoo PBX is been designed specifically keeping the ITSP or the service provider MSPs in a mind, who can use it as a platform to deliver a services over a cloud or through on-premise installations to their customers. So both products are very much different, addressing to a different segment of the market as a need in the business. Do your system have built-in OpenVPN server? I think Nirav has already replied that we do not have OpenVPN system built in. There is one more question from Sundaram. Is there any specific voice gateway compatible with? I think there is no specific recommendation we give for any particular brand, but as Nirav has explained, that all SIP supported gateways will work without any hiccups. Are the recordings encrypted? Will it stand up in a court of law? Yes, I think it is. Currently, it is not encrypted, as it will be stored in your server and only you have the access of it. So in future, we can certainly do that. I think we have received this from some couple of other people. We also heard on this in other markets. So maybe we can definitely consider this into our roadmap kind of a thing, and we can definitely discuss about that in terms of feasibility with our technical team to see how we can achieve that particular part of it. But currently, it is not as on date. Any more questions from the participants? Yeah, so Milan, Milan has a question that IVR can be integrated to any database. Ruchika.
Yes, so IVR basically can be configured from the portal itself, and you can use it for routing the calls for things like to another extension, to another ring group or queue. So basically, it cannot be integrated at the moment with any other database, but we do have APIs. So maybe you can look into it, and you can take the needed information through the APIs.
Yes. So, any other questions from anybody? Definitely, we are here still for a couple of more minutes to answer those questions. What about VAS services, value-added services? Is it possible to integrate through SIP trunk other voice systems like Link or Cisco? So, no VAS services available. And about the SIP trunk integration with Link or Cisco?
So we actually need to check that one. So we would need some more details to look into it. Thank you for the question. We have noted it.
Okay. Okay. So one more question, I think, from Bankole, and I think he already got the answer because we already write down the answer in the chat. If any other questions are there, we can take it up those questions. Otherwise, I would love to take a feedback also from you guys in terms of how was the webinar sessions and how do you see the webinar which we have presented today. So we can learn from your feedback and we can try to improve more with upcoming webinars. So I guess as of now, there is no other questions which is coming. But if in case, if anybody has any feedback also, we would love to take the feedback in terms of the demo, in terms of this webinar session, as well as in terms of improving the webinar session and make it more interactive. There is one question, I think, from Muyua. What determines the switching capacity of the box? So I think, Muyua, to answer this question, I think in terms of capacity or scalability, as on date, I think we have the product which is available, which can take care of 1,200 concurrent call on one single server with 10,000 extension and unlimited tenants. So that's the scalability we can say on one single server. Now, if you have more in terms of scalability to plan, you are planning for instead of 1,200 concurrent calls to probably 1,600 or 1,800, we can definitely explore the specific architecture for that to suggest you and to go with that. You have CTI link to SIP IP phones. Jubilani, thank you for your feedback. Fernando, thank you for your feedback. There is one question. Do you have CTI link to SIP IP phone? Ruchika, maybe you can answer that.
Actually, currently we do not have, but we are looking forward to having it. So we'll certainly look forward to having it in a short time.
Yeah, but in a way we have been supporting all SIP IP phones, right, through auto provisioning of it, and we do have the mobile app and Google Chrome extension as on date. Christopher has a question: is load balancing NH available? Yes, it is available. Yeah, anybody has any question or I would love to take a feedback as well. And I think we'll have still a couple of more minutes to go before we end up the session. So we can definitely entertain all the questions or any information we need. Thank you, Vinanjia, for your feedback.
So we have a question from Christopher. So if load balancing is available across multiple servers. So yes, it is available.
Thank you, Sundaram, for your feedback. We'll definitely be in touch with you in terms of some of your questions were very interesting. I think we can deliberate more with one-to-one conversation. So we'll definitely get in touch with you very soon. Mohammed, thank you, Mohammed, for your feedback. Thank you, Christopher. So I think we'll plan to close the session now. We have a lot of feedback which is coming in now. I believe most of the question we have already answered. And thank you all for attending this webinar. We will definitely invite you again for a new webinar, which we will plan in a due course of time. And we will try to bring in something more informative and something which is more related to the industry or the industrial problem. We will talk about those in the upcoming webinar. Thank you everyone for the participation, and we'll definitely share even a recording of this through email as well as online. On also the knowledge sharing part can be accessed on our website as well. And I can also request you all to follow us on our social media channels, so maybe you can stay updated with our progress and our journey. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ruchika, for the nice webinar, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
making the time. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.